All right, guys, it's Ben with BYOB Pool Co. We're gonna knock out a motor swap before this freezing storm hits. This is what you're gonna need. First off, let's open it up, turn off the breaker to the pump. Drill with a Phillips head driver. I also really like these little nut drivers. They have multiple different options, super helpful. Flathead, pair of pliers also may be needed, would be some wire strippers. Magic lube, this stuff is amazing. Got to get you a set of wrenches, a nut driver, you need your new shaft seal kit, and a new... Now we're going to take off the back cover and disconnect the wires. Now we're going to pull these wires out. Go ahead and take it out. We'll loosen up our flex connector. And then pull the wires through. Sometimes you got to do them one by one if they have those little connectors on it. We'll go ahead and take off the ground wire, bond wire on the pump while we're at it. And take off your flex connector. If this is in good shape, you can reuse it. If not, just replace it. They're cheap. So next thing we're going to do is remove the bolts that hold the pump. For this super pump, you're going to need a 9/16. Once you get all 4 bolts out, you can go ahead and pull the motor out of the pump. We'll pull off the diffuser. So you'll hold that back shaft still with a box wrench, and then you can grab the front spin that guy off, stand it up, we can pull the plate off. Now we can take out these 4 bolts as well, which are also going to be 9/16. Get those 4 bolts out, go ahead and pull the mounting plate off of the old motor. This thing is now trash. Next, I like to take these parts, go ahead and get the old seals off. Sometimes those stick and you have to get them with a pair of pliers or a flathead. This seal also will push out. Again, sometimes a flathead is really useful for that. Just stick it on there, smack it. Now it's out. With these ones, sometimes we can get it. There we go. And now it's off. Make sure you always get that seal also. Now I like to take all these parts and just give them a quick clean. You can rinse them off in the pool with a hose, whatever. Just wipe them down. Make sure you wipe down that shaft pretty decent. And in this one, I like to really get in and dry around where this seal goes in at. And then just hit the out. Now we can open up our Go Kit. This has all the seals you're going to need for the whole pump in it. Be mindful not to cut them. They vacuum in here pretty good. Now once you get these out, you do not want to touch the faces with your fingers if you can help it. These 2 are the ones that will actually seal the pump off. When they meet, they rub together, creating a nice watertight seal. Take your propeller shaft, make sure the silver side goes down. If it is being difficult, this one was not, but sometimes you can put just a little tiny dab of that lube on there to help them go in. Again, with this one, we're going to stick it with the white side facing to us. I like grabbing a paper towel and pressing it in there, making sure it is nice and sealed. Go ahead and open up your pump, get it ready to go. We'll take the mounting bracket. Make sure that the drain is on the bottom side. We can tell this is the top because that's where the capacitor goes. And this little notch here, just make sure it's at the bottom. It sucks when you get everything back together and realize it's upside down. With these bolts, I like to put just a little bit of lube on the threads, not much, just enough to help them kind of go back in there nice and not strip out. I will always start them by finger tight first and then move on to a wrench. These do like to strip out on you, and it's a real big pain in the butt when they do. So I just get them going before I hit them with a wrench. Then you can go ahead, tighten them up. I always like to hand check them. Drills can be deceitful. Yep, nice and tight, good. Now we'll take our main plate. Again, we will make sure that the groove on the bottom lines up with the bottom. You can see right here it says top. Make sure it lines up with the top. There is a notch on the back. That index is here. So we will slide that guy on there like that. Set the pump up. Spin her around. Now we got to take the back off of it so we can hold on to that nut before we put on the prop again. Now this style is a bit different. This one, it's way up in there. So what you need to do is get the right wrench. I want to say a 1/2 inch does it, but it's been a little while since I've done one of these, so I might be wrong. But you can squeeze in here past those wires. It's hard to see, but we'll spin that prop until we can get it to sit down on there. Now we can spin it around, hold that tight, go ahead and screw the propeller back on, hold the wrench, give it a nice turn. All right, now everything's back together. Make sure you swap out the seal that goes on the front of this diffuser. It also shows top. Make sure it goes on the right direction. In here, we have another gasket. Let's go ahead and pry that out. Pull that old gasket out. This is where this magic lube comes in real handy. I like squeezing dabs in that groove. It really helps hold that new gasket while you're trying to get everything back together. Just put a few dabs right in that groove. And then when you take your new seal, make sure it's nice and straight, wipe off any debris, set it in the groove, and as you push it in, that lube is really going to help keep it right where it needs to be. Just like that. Any excess, I rub along the outside of the seal. Get a little extra on your finger. You don't have to smother it, just a nice thin layer goes a long way with the lifespan on these gaskets. Never put this stuff on the shaft seal. That has to stay clean perfectly. You can't even touch it with your fingertips. I just wipe this stuff on my jeans because I'm dirty. My wife loves that. Pick up the assembly, slide it into place, get your bolts ready. Again, a little dab on the threads just helps everything go in nice. Start them by hand. Once they're hand tight, go ahead and get your socket. I like going in a star pattern. You don't have to be crazy tight. Now do not forget to put your bond wires back on that lug. These are very important. Now we can take our fitting. Once your wires are through, go ahead and hook them back up to the proper terminals. You may have to check and see if you are 240 powered or 120. If you are, some of these pumps you can actually move this jumper and change between them, but if you're not experienced with electrical, you may let a professional do this part. All right, wires are connected. We went ahead and swapped out the gasket for here as well. We're gonna put some water in it to prime it, but when we kick her on, it fires up, sounds great. We'll get it primed up and she'll be purring. Pump is primed up, running nicely, just at 10 PSI. And that is how to do a motor swap.